So welcome back to another video. I'm Vic, your host. So it's been a while since I did a tactical video, and today I wanted to do Boca Juniors and basically set up the team with you guys and show you how I think when I put together the lineup and choose the formation. And also I'm gonna try it out in a couple of seasons on online divisions, because I've tested out some teams and I'm relegated back to Division 7. So I'm gonna use Boca Juniors to try to get back to at least Division 5. But nevertheless, I have to start by setting my lineup and choosing my tactic. So let's start with that. Okay, so the default starting formation is a 4-2-2-2. And looking at the available players here in the squad, I don't think this is the optimal setup for this team. I also did a little bit of research on PESmaster.com to get an overview over the players, and I actually think this team will play pretty well with a 4-2-3-1. So I'm gonna do some changes here. Okay, so I've chosen this for my formation, a 4-2-3-1. Actually, you also could do like a 4-2-1-3 with pure wingers instead of wide midfielders. But I'm gonna go with wide midfielders instead, because I want it to be a little bit secure defensively. Probably in divisions you're gonna face these top teams, so you're gonna need to have some defense. So let's set up a starting 11 here. Okay, so my goalie is gonna be Andrada. He's the starting goalie. The reason I want to keep him is he's an offensive goalie. He also has some nice skills. He has low punt, long throw. He also has penalty saver. Primarily, low punt and long throw is really nice to have for a goalie if you want to do those long and quick passes to your wingers. And for my fullbacks, I'm gonna go with Fabra on the left back. Offensive fullback, left-footed, really nice. He can pass the ball, he has very good speed. Not the best defensively, but offensively is pretty solid. He has the double touch, which is really nice to have if you want to dribble around on the wing. And he has pinpoint crossing, and also one-touch pass is nice to have if you like quick passing. Defensively, he has interception, acrobatic clear, and fighting spirit, which I like. And on the other side, it's Buffarini, offensive fullback, right-footed. It's like a lighter version of Fabra, doesn't have the same passing skills nor the speed. Not that good defensively, but he's an offensive fullback, so it makes sense. He doesn't have any like defensive skills or offensive skills really, but he does have acrobatic clear and he can throw long. So my central defenders is gonna be Izquierdos. It's a build-up, right-footed. Pretty good defensive attributes, and he has some player skills that are really useful for a center back. He has heading, man marking, interception, acrobatic clear. Also he can captain, and he has fighting spirit. And he's gonna play alongside Lopez, extra frontman, right-footed, really tall. He can head the ball. He has some good attributes defensively. And he also has heading, man marking, interception, acrobatic clear, and fighting spirit. So this looks pretty solid. And then for my defensive midfielders centrally, I'm gonna go with Cardona and Campuzano. So Cardona is a creative playmaker. This may be a little bit of a defensive role for him. Perhaps he will be better suited in more offensive roles, but I don't have room for him higher up the pitch. So I'm gonna start him in this role and see how it works out. As you can see on the graph in the middle up there, he has very bad defensive attributes, but he hopefully can contribute offensively here. He inspires low pass and lofted pass. He has some good attributes here, which are solid for a creative kind of player. And he also has a lot of skills. What I'm gonna use here is probably the through passing, perhaps a little bit of crossing. Mainly, I'm gonna use this guy to pass. Basically, it's gonna be the deep-lying playmaker here on this team. And next to him, you have Campuzano, who's basically a destroyer, defensive midfielder. He's more a defensive player than Cardona, so this guy is gonna keep the fort, gonna stay back when we attack. He does inspire low pass though with 2 stars, and he has some good passing attributes. Mainly low pass is his strength. He has decent speed, good stamina, and he has some solid defensive attributes actually. This guy has better defensive attributes than my fullbacks, that's worth noting. And looking at his skills, he has one-touch pass, he also has through passing, weighted pass. So I can hit some passes with this guy. And also I'm gonna go with long passing as my attacking style, so it really helps to have these two guys centrally who can hit passes and have good passing stats. And also Campuzano is pretty solid defensively, he has man marking, interception and fighting spirit. So this guy is gonna be solid, I think, in my midfield. As my left midfielder I'm gonna go with Pavon, who is a prolific winger who is right-footed, but he has pretty solid offensive skills. He's really quick, and he can pass the ball and he can dribble. And he has some good skills, he has the double touch, really nice. He can hit the long-range drive, which is nice. And he has pinpoint crossing, he also has track back and fighting spirit, so he can contribute a little bit defensively as well. On the other side, I'm gonna start Salvio, who is right-footed, so I'm gonna use him to go around and try to cross instead of going inside and finish, since he's not left-footed. He inspires, low pass, 1 star. He has some good dribbling skills. He's a decent passer. He can finish, actually, decent finishing. He has some good speed, good kicking power, and skill-wise, he has the double touch as well. I'm probably gonna use a lot of double touches here. And then he also has the first time shot, 1-touch pass, through passing. He also can long throw, which I guess could be useful. And then as the creative midfielder, I have Carlitos Tevez. He's a hole player, he inspires low pass, 1 star. He's 36 years old now, so he doesn't have the best speed. Actually, he has decent speed. I was expecting it to be a bit worse, but it's okay. He can still dribble a little bit, he can pass a little bit, he can finish a little bit. I mean, he's not in his prime now, but he still has some skills here, some attributes that I can use. And skill-wise, he also has the double touch, he can shoot from range. He has the 1-touch pass and through pass, also he can captain. Basically, in that role, I'm gonna either use Tevez. I also have Zarate on the bench, who can step in and do... It's basically a copy of Tevez, attribute-wise and skill-wise. Also, I could put Cardona in there. And up front, I'm gonna start with Avila because he's a target man. I really like in this formation, when I play with wingers and I have one striker, I really like having him as a target man. So he will come back to link, to be a link target. So I can lay the ball off to Tevez or to one of the wingers and then have runs through from the midfield. And we'll see how it works out in game. This guy is not that tall actually for a target man. He has decent finishing, he has decent heading, decent speed, and he is strong, good physical contact. Not that good of a passer, which can be an issue when you use him as a link-up, but we have to see how it works out. Skill-wise, he has some good shooting skills here, and he can first time shoot, he can acrobatic finish. He does not have the heading, so I probably won't do that many crosses. I'm gonna try to keep it on the ground, but it does have 1-touch pass, which is really useful when doing like this quick 1-2 combination plays with your target man. So on the bench I have some options here. I have the backup goalie, rated 78. Then I have some decent defenders here, Zambrano and Rojo, who both played in Europe, pretty solid veterans. Then I have some options on the fullbacks as backups. And centrally in the midfield also, Almendra looks really solid. It's a box-to-box, it doesn't inspire anything, but he has decent low passing, decent dribbling, decent speed, and he has some good skills. He has the double touch, he can 1-touch pass, he also have the long-range drive and the interception, so he can step in as a central midfielder and do a good job. Offensively, we have Zarate on the bench, which I mentioned earlier. He can step in for Tevez. Then we have the backup striker, who is Soldano. He's a goal poacher, so my playing style is really gonna depend on who I start up front, because I know that bad condition can happen in any game, so I have to expect to make some changes up front. So when I play Soldano, I'm probably gonna play more through passing and stuff like that towards him. And he has decent speed and he can finish and he can head a little bit. And he also has some solid skills for a striker, so I can cross the ball into him. And also we have a decent backup winger here in Villa. Actually, I think he's starting in real life. He's a prolific winger, really quick prolific winger. Can play on either side. He has some decent dribbling, good speed, as you see here. And skill-wise, he also has the double touch. He has crossing, he has weighted pass, and also gamesmanship, so he can attract some fouls. So I actually have some options on the bench here which will come in useful. So doing the player settings, I'm gonna have Carlos Tevez as the captain. Free kicks is gonna be Cardona. He's also gonna take the corner kicks, so he's gonna be a primary set piece taker. Also he's gonna take penalties. And for my set pieces, I'm gonna push up both my central defenders. They're pretty solid in the air. So looking at the instructions, they originally are playing counter-attack short pass through the middle. But I won't do that. I'm gonna do possession game, long pass, and actually I wanna play through the wings here. So I'm a bit curious how this will work out when we start playing, because I don't have wingers, I have wide midfielders. But I'm gonna start by trying this out. I'm gonna maintain formation, and on the support range I want them to have some distance because I'm playing long ball. So I'm gonna put that on 5. Defensively, I'm gonna go all out defense, and I think I'm gonna try to contain them I'm gonna contain them wide because I want to try to push them out wide to make crosses. I have solid central defenders who can head the ball out. I'm gonna do aggressive pressuring. The defensive line, even though I'm going with all-out defense, I don't want it to be too low because I have an offensive goalie behind me who can sweep on through balls. So I'm gonna go with 4 here, and I'm gonna go on compactness of 8 just to keep it tight. And offensively, on my advanced instructions, I'm gonna go with wing rotation. I want some movement of the ball when one of my wingers get the ball. I think Tevez will do a lot of runs anyway because he's a whole player. He will try to find the empty space. But I really want my central midfielders as well to make runs and to contribute offensively. Defensively, I'm gonna swarm the box. Since I'm doing containment wide and I have these solid central defenders, when the opponent has the ball wide, I want to swarm the box to try to get to the crosses first and head it away. Okay, so that was that. That was my tactical setup. I hope you like to see the process, how I think when I set up the team. Hopefully it will work out in game. I don't know yet, I haven't played with it. But I'm gonna do some games in online divisions right now. And perhaps I will add this to the video, highlights from the games and stuff like that. Or I will do a separate video with the gameplay stuff. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this tactical setup and trying to build a winning 11 with this Boca Juniors team. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comments. If you liked the video, please like it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.